Welcome back, everybody, and tonight is another Bible study night. And we're going to continue off where we left off last night in John, chapter 6. We're going to do we'll do a small recap and go back a few verses and then move on to it. Okay. So it says, "For Jesus had known from the beginning which of them did not believe and who would betray him. He went on to say, 'This is why I told you that no one can come to me unless the Father has enabled them.'" And now we're gonna keep reading here. So anyways, we started on John chapter 6, verse 64. "From this time, many of his disciples turned back and no longer followed him. 'You do not want to leave too, do you?' Jesus asked the 12. Simon Peter answered him, 'Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life. We have come to believe and to know that you are the Holy One of God.' Then Jesus replied, 'Have I not chosen you, the 12? Yet one of you is a devil.' He meant Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot, who, though one of the 12, was later to betray him." And then chapter 7. "After this, Jesus went around in Galilee. He did not want to go about in Judea because the Jewish leaders there were looking for a way to kill him. But when the Jewish festival of tabernacles was near, Jesus' brothers said to him, 'Leave Galilee and go to Judea so that your disciples there may see the works you do. No one who wants to become a public figure acts in secret. Since you are doing these things, show yourself to the world,' for even his own brothers did not believe in him." So I detect a lot of sarcasm there. Let's read that again. "Jesus' brothers said to him, 'Leave Galilee and go to Judea, so that your disciples there may see the works you do. No one who wants to become a public figure acts in secret. Since you are doing these things, show yourself to the world.'" So it's like, what I don't understand is how, people, especially in his family, how they didn't know that he was different. You got to figure, since he lived a perfect life, a sinless life, since he was a kid, he never did anything wrong. I know times are different and things they did back there are different, but, modern day example, like the parents saying, "Hey, take the trash out, go wash the dishes, or, walk the dog, or clean your room," or anything like that. It's like he never gave him any lip, he just always did right, We as humans cannot be even almost close to perfect. And we got those kids in school, that would do everything right, so we thought. All goody two-shoes and stuff like that, and make fun of them, pick on them and stuff. Jesus, legit did everything right his whole life. So it's like, I don't understand how his own family can't say, "Hey, what's going on here?" And believe that. And not only that, his mom knew. So did his dad. Joseph and Mary knew. God spoke to him, so it's like, that, I don't know, how did that never come out? Or I don't know. It's just, it's really bizarre. But anyway, so for them to sit there and say that kind of stuff, it's kind of like, what? "Therefore, Jesus told them, 'My time is not yet here. For you, any time will do. The world cannot hate you, but it hates me because I testify that its works are evil. You go to the festival. I am not going up to this festival because my time has not yet fully come.' After he said this, he stayed in Galilee. However, after his brothers had left for the festival, he went also, not publicly, but in secret. Now at the festival, the Jewish leaders were watching for Jesus and asking, 'Where is he?' Among the crowds, there was widespread whispering about him. Some said, 'He is a good man.' Others replied, 'No, he deceives the people.' But no one would say anything publicly about him for fear of the leaders. Not until halfway through the festival did Jesus go up to the temple courts and begin to teach." Hold on, let me go back a little bit. I want to read a little bit about, what his brothers were saying, if there's any notes on here. It says here, Matthew 13:55 lists Jesus' brothers as James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas. James authored the New Testament epistle that bears his name and became the leader of the Jerusalem church. And Judas, or Jude, wrote the epistle that also bears his name. Because of Jesus' virgin birth, they were only the half-brothers of Jesus, since Mary, not Joseph, was Jesus' only human parent. And here's where they talk about show yourself to the world. Jesus' brothers wanted him to put on a display of his miracles. Although the text does not clearly state their motivation, perhaps they made the request for two reasons. They wanted to see the miracles for themselves to determine their genuineness, and two, they may have tried similar crass political moves as did the people, namely that he would become their social and political Messiah. Jerusalem's acceptance of him was to be the acid test for them as to whether his own family would believe him as Messiah. As with the crowds in Jerusalem and Galilee, even his own brothers did not believe in Jesus at first. They did not become his followers until after the resurrection. And then whenever they said all that, he said, his time has not yet come. This recalls the response to Jesus' mother at the wedding in Cana. It also reveals the first reason why Jesus would not go to the festival. It was not in God's perfect timing. The sentence reveals Jesus' complete dependence on and commitment to the Father's sovereign timetable for his life. Furthermore, Jesus never committed himself to being motivated by unbelief, even that of his own half-brothers. For you, any time will do. Because Jesus' brothers did not believe him, they were of the world and therefore knew nothing of God or his purposes. Because of unbelief, they did not listen to his word, did not recognize God's schedule, and could not perceive the incarnate word before them. As a result, any time would do for them, preferably that moment. And whenever it says the world, he said the world cannot hate you. The world cannot hate Jesus' brothers because they belonged to the world and the world loves its own. The evil world system and all who reject the word and the Son of God lie in the control of the evil one himself. A true born-again believer who is living a life for God's glory should experience the hatred and antagonism of this world. So I think we will, let's see here. We'll read a little more here. Okay. So others replied, no, or say, some said, he is a good man. Others replied, no, he deceives the people. But no one would say anything publicly about him for fear of the leaders. Not until halfway through the festival did Jesus go up to the temple courts and begin to teach. The Jews there were amazed and asked, how did this man get such learning without having been taught? Jesus answered, my teaching is not my own. It comes from the one who sent me. Anyone who chooses to do the will of God will find out whether my teaching comes from God or whether I speak on my own. Whoever speaks on their own does so to gain personal glory, but he who seeks the glory of the one who sent him is a man of truth. There is nothing false about him. Has not Moses given you the law? Yet not one of you keeps the law. Why are you trying to kill me? You are demon possessed, the crowd answered. Who is trying to kill you? Jesus said to them, I did one miracle, and you are all amazed. Yet, because Moses gave you circumcision, though actually it did not come from Moses but from the patriarchs, you circumcise a boy on the Sabbath. Now, if a boy can be circumcised on the Sabbath, so that the law of Moses may not be broken, why are you angry with me for healing a man's whole body on the Sabbath? Stop judging by mere appearances, but instead judge correctly. All right, guys, that's the Bible study for tonight. We will continue tomorrow, John chapter 7, verse 25. Have a good night.